Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm the Gnarly Gnome. Hopefully this is all working. I just realized right before I hit the live button that I didn't test the things that I should have tested. I also realized that I didn't, again, hook in directly, which usually causes us problems here. Before we get too far into this, let me double check and make sure that all hell is not going to break loose. Again, one of these days, I will figure this whole thing out. It's looking okay so far. It's okay. It's not great. If anybody gets any kind of weird buffering or internet issues, please immediately tell me in the chat. This is a live show. It's not a show because sometimes things don't work out the way they're supposed to. You guys are a critical part of this because of that, but you have to tell me when things are not performing the way they're supposed to. Welcome. If you are new to this whole thing, it's a happy hour. It's an excuse for us to hang out together and have a drink and do something fun and talk about fun things, or sometimes not fun things. Like there is sometimes local news or industry news or something that we want to talk about that is not always fun, and we do talk about that too. But tonight, I think everything that I want to talk about, if I check here, I think everything's pretty well. Everything's pretty fun. There is one story that maybe we'll cover that is not great. It's really hard to read and operate a mouse left-handed when you are not left-handed. Yeah, there's definitely one story that is maybe not great. As you jump onto the live stream, tell me what you're drinking. If you're jumping on to the podcast feed after this is live or watching the video after it's live, still tell me what it is you're drinking. So post a message, a comment if you're watching it via the video, or just, hey, send me a email or a text. Send me a text. Send a text to 567-70-DRINK and tell me what it is you're drinking. That'll work too. It doesn't matter. I'll text you back and I'll tell you what I'm doing at that time. Marco is having a Go Brewing non-alcoholic double IPA and eating some Hot Dick's potato chips. Speaking of Dick's Potato Chips, huge shout out to Dick's Potato Chips. They are the sponsor of not only this week's episode, but last week's episode and next week's episode. We love Dick's. We love Dick's on this show. If you have not caught on to that yet, my favorite potato chip in the world. I really do, like, not just because they're a sponsor. I always have a huge tree of Dick's hanging out down here at the bar because that's what I snack on when I'm drinking. When I'm sitting at the bar watching something on TV, I watched the new Mission. I say new. I watched the latest Mission Impossible movie last night while I was getting some work done, sitting at the bar and eating Dick's. That's how I roll. That's what we do down here in the basement. And I do that because they're delicious. 3 different flavors right now, although I've heard rumors that this spring or summer there might be another flavor coming. I've heard the rumor. I cannot confirm or deny that it's coming, but there are 3 right now. You've got the Salty Dick's, top of the tree, I think. Yeah, Salty Dick's at the top. You've got the Barbecue Dick's in the middle, and I've got Hot Dick's at the bottom. I also always keep Hot Dick's right next to me because they're my favorite. I like the salty and I like the hot, but I do keep them on hand at all times. If you have not tried them, get out there and try them. And if you can't find them at your local retailer, and the more you tell them, the more your local retailer tells you to quit bothering them about your Dicks, get online. Go to dickspotatochips.com and order them. You can get them shipped right to your door. You can get a big old giant box of Dicks delivered right to your doorstep. And for anybody that is looking for a box of Dicks, I can't imagine that there is a better way to get them. Yes, Hot Dick's. Hot Dick's. The best Dicks. Hot and spicy. They're delicious. Eat a bag. Eat a bag of Dicks. They're so good. Yeah. They really are amazing. If anybody is down at Bachfest this coming weekend, find me and we'll hook you up with some Dicks. All right, buffering issue. Hang on. Hold that thought. I can fix it in like 2 minutes. This is my fault. Hold that thought. All right, we're fixing it. Buffering will be fixed. Okay. This should fix our buffering. That should fix it. Sorry, I really will learn my lesson one of these days. No, this is definitely not a joke. Dick's Potato Chips are amazing, and they are the sponsor of this episode. I keep the hottest dicks next to them. I do. I keep the hot dicks closest, and the salty dicks behind me. Again, if you're new to this, it's about drinking, though. So as you tell me what you drink, we will enjoy that, but I have to drink something, too. Empty glass. Let's preface this episode with the drinks that I will consume tonight are not all of my choosing. We're probably getting ahead of ourselves. Let's do the one that I did choose. I've been looking for schnapps, and finding schnapps in this area is not easy. Proper schnapps. However, finding strange spirits that sound interesting that I want to drink with you, that is a lot easier. And this one, as soon as I saw it on the shelf, I knew that that we needed to include it on an episode of this episode or this podcast. This is called Nixta, which I don't know if you can really get a good look at this bottle, and this angle is not going to help. Nixta. This is, if I read it, Licor de elote, which I don't speak a lot of Spanish, but I'm pretty sure that means like corn booze. Corn booze. It looks like an ear of corn. As soon as I saw this on the shelf, I immediately was reminded of something. I don't know who remembers or who has seen these in their local bar, but that's exactly what this reminds me of. It's literally an ear of corn, but in bottle form. All right, I'm going to read it before I crack it open. I'm really kind of excited to try this. I like corn. What can I say? Licor de elote. It says, Nixta Licor de elote honors the heart of Distilleria Abasolo. Craft Nixamata. Man, there's, okay. 4,000-year-old Mesoamerican cooking technique we use to reveal the complex aromas and flavors of maize. So yeah, corn. It's all about corn. To create Nixta, we carefully select tender heirloom corn on the cob from the early days of harvest. The corn is then blended with our ancestral maize spirit and a clarified sweet mash produced from fully matured, I don't even know, Kakahua, some kind of hominy. Kaka something. Kaka Huazintal? Hominy. Some kind of hominy. This is insane. The result is a one-of-a-kind elote liqueur with a nose of roasted corn and sweet and creamy texture of atole. Oh, man. And a finish of roasted nuts and dried fruit. It's one of a kind because I've never heard of something like this. What I am anticipating with this is that this is kind of like a corn whiskey. So I'm not going to call it bourbon, but kind of like a bourbon that then gets an extra dose of corn afterwards. That's the best I can come up with this stuff. Yeah, my notes. What I have notes in front of me, and it literally says that. Oops, that's the wrong one. Nope, that's not it either. I thought I made a note for this. I didn't. Yeah. I don't know what to anticipate with this, but we're gonna get it open and we're gonna try it before we drink the stuff that I'm not as looking forward to. I did a little bit of reading with some reviews and stuff online, and I got a lot of people that said it tastes like tortillas, Fritos. I heard some Frito comparisons, so we'll see. All right, All right, it definitely smells boozier than in my head I was anticipating. I like that. That makes me feel good. All right, let's get this in the glass here, and we'll see what it looks like. Is it going to look like whiskey, or is it going to look like some kind of bright yellow schnapps? I don't know. It's light. It's a lot lighter in color than a whiskey, but I guess it kind of fits the corn idea. Nixta licor de elote. I don't know. I think it looks fine. All right, let's get into this thing and we'll see what to expect. Very light in color, almost like a cider color or champagne kind of, but without bubbles, obviously. Julia says like thin corn syrup colored. Yeah, this might taste like corn syrup. I don't know. From reading the description, it does not sound like they make this with corn syrup. It definitely sounds more crafted than that, we'll call it. I get like a almost like a moonshine. There's like a moonshiny kind of quality to it, which I guess makes sense if you're loading it up with just tons of corn. But what does it mean if when I smell corn, I think of moonshine? What does that say about me as a person? That's 100% what it smells like to me. It just smells like moonshine. Oh my God. Okay, so it's is this just Mexican moonshine? This might be Mexican moonshine. The more I think about it, I think it's Mexican moonshine with a little bit of sugar. Prost. Cheers. We'll see what this tastes like. Oh God, that's great. Yeah, it's definitely Mexican moonshine, but way easier drinking. Not super like a lot of the moonshine, super high proof. This is 38% alcohol by volume, and there's definitely some added sugar there, so you don't get that sharp bite. Oh, and it finishes with like a really great like an earthy kind of thing. Oh man, that's a home run. That stuff is delicious. That might oh, that's fun. That the bottle is ridiculous, but like that might be like a great camping booze. It's not like you don't get the experience of moonshine drinking out of a jar where you're passing it around and sharing all the germs and the backwash. You don't get that from this, but I guess you could pour it in a jar if you wanted to. That is not at all what I was expecting, but in like a really, really great way. Ooh. They do, I don't know if they say on the bottle or if I just read it somewhere. Oh, yeah, it says, enjoy Nixta neat on ice or mixed in with your favorite cocktails. So somewhere I read that they recommend drinking it just a little bit chilled, like not like super cold, but just a little chilled. And I'm obviously drinking at room temperature. It's kind of how I like to experience almost everything for the first time. But I'm curious now to try this in different things. Oh, I love it. It really is. It's moonshine, like light moonshine, light, like a approachable moonshine. Yeah, that initial aroma, like as soon as you start getting it to your nose, like I'm just anticipating that like sharp bite of a moonshine, and then once you sip it, you get that big sweetness. Oh man. If you see this, buy it. Not only is it a fun kind of gimmicky thing to have sitting on your home bar that'll definitely start a few conversations if somebody comes over. It's super drinkable and super good. I don't know what I would make a cocktail with this. What I would do. What would I do with this in a cocktail? I don't know. Maybe. Ooh, I don't know. You could sub out like some sweet ingredients with anything with this, and it might be interesting. But it might even sub in for some whiskey. Maybe. It would obviously, with the lower proof, although it's not that much lower proof. But the sweet, I don't know. I need to play with it. I need to figure this out. That's good. Over ice. I'm curious to try it over ice. Okay. Mm-hmm. We might be revisiting that before the episode is over, depending on what happens with my actual drink. Because, there still is like a good burn to it. Oh, man, that's fun. Wild stuff. I'm glad I picked that up. I just usually, like, if I'm picking something out for the show, I will just go to a liquor store, preferably in Kentucky because they have a better variety there. And I'll just start walking the aisles, and I will just look for something that I've never seen before, number one, something that is not like a normal spirit. Like, I don't really want to find a gin or a whiskey or tequila or something, unless it's a really weird one, because that's boring to me. I want something that I didn't know existed, and this definitely fits the bill. I did not know that this existed. Yeah, there it is again. If anybody needs to write down the name, it's Nixta, Licor de Elote. Licor de Elote. Nixta. You can't miss it, though. It looks like an ear of corn. Just go to the store and look for a large ear of corn. It'll look like which direction is this? Like that. It's really confusing. Like that. It looks like that. Oh, it is. Oh man, that's wild. Yeah, go get you some. Now for the possibly weird. Let's put that back there, just in case we need it, and we might need it. I'm a big fan of Bruce Guy's Happy Hour. If anybody is not familiar with the show, it's a live podcast on. I shouldn't call it a podcast. It's a live YouTube show on Fridays. Mike and Brett, they have Bruce Guy's Happy Hour as their actual podcast, where they've been kind of recounting the history of craft beer through interviews with the people that were there. And they do this live show where they talk about booze news. And one of the stories this last week was about AI, and it was the story doesn't matter. The thing that matters is they made this comment that they could not picture anything that AI could help them with their drinking. And immediately my brain went off, and I needed to explore this. I needed to figure out if AI could help me in my drinking, which brings us to the first topic of the night. My main drink of the night is not going to be chosen by me. Let's see what you can do, Terminator. We're going to have AI make a cocktail. This has been a little bit of work trying to make this happen, and the logistics are still going to be a little strange. I'm going to have to get up and go to the bar after we talk to AI because I built this prompt for ChatGPT is what we're going to use, and it is like 4 pages long because I entered in every single bottle of booze except for this one. Everything else that is behind my bar is entered into this prompt for ChatGPT to build me a cocktail. And I've tested it several times. I've only made one cocktail that was created by ChatGPT. My wife and I sat down here the other night, and we tried the cocktail, which I wish I could remember what ChatGPT named it. It seems like every name has some kind of alchemy in the cocktail name, which is interesting. It's like I think it was like Midnight Alchemy or something was the one we actually made. And it sounded amazing, and it was just kind of it was mid. It was kind of mid, as the kids say. It was not amazing. I think it could have been tweaked a little bit. I could have experimented with it and made it good, but it was not great. I've run the prompt a few more times, kind of seeing what it comes up with, and everything looks really great. But they're all way more complicated than a cocktail needs to be. A lot more ingredients than a cocktail needs to be. It is picking a lot of kind of strange ingredients that I have behind the bar, which is fun. I am not using any citrus in the cocktail, so no fresh citrus, no fresh ingredients at all. No fresh citrus. I'm letting it use sugar because I have some sugar cubes that we can muddle, and bitters. But other than that, it's gonna be straight booze. So this is we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, let's grab the prompt here. And we'll pull up our robot friend. All right. We are ready to go. Here is the full prompt, and it is working at it here. Yep, see, okay. We'll read it as it goes here. It says, "Boss, don't worry. I told it I was its boss, and it's going to get fired if it does a bad job." It says, "Boss, don't worry. I've got this. Allow me to present the Appalachian Alchemist." Okay. It's a cocktail that dances boldly between smoky, herbal, nutty, and fruity flavors. Beautifully complex, yet remarkably balanced. For this cocktail, I need... Oh, all right. Okay. Let's see, this sounds great. I need an ounce of Vita Mezcal, an ounce of Kill Devil Distilling's pecan rum. It gives me why it's adding it in here, too. The Mezcal is for smoky depth. An ounce of Kill Devil Distilling's pecan rum, which adds a sweet, nutty complexity. I need a half an ounce of Zierbin's Alpine Schnapps. You guys have experienced that on this show. We need that for a piney Alpine freshness. Yes, we do. A half ounce of Copper and King's American brandy. That'll add some depth and warmth. A quarter ounce of Luxardo Maraschino liqueur for a subtle sweetness and a cherry undertone. A quarter ounce of Bekarovka for some herbal spice. 2 dashes of Angostura bitters and a dash of Peychaud's bitters, plus an absinthe rinse. Good Lord. It does say that I have the option to express an orange peel over the drink if I have one, and I don't. And I told it that. It's going to get fired. Oh, it also wants me to drop a single Luxardo cherry elegantly in the glass. I'm not going to do that either. Sorry. I told you that. Oh, that's great. It says, "Boss, this cocktail will not only secure my job," because I told it I was going to fire it if it messed up, "but it'll also restore the world's faith in bartenders everywhere. Cheers." All right. So I'm going to need to go get some ingredients. I need some mezcal, some rum, some schnapps, some brandy, maraschino, Bekarovka, some Angostura bitters, some Peychaud's bitters, and some absinthe. Holy crap. All right. We do have an option with our absinthe. Do we want to rinse with I have Lucid, I have some Voltage absinthe, and St. George absinthe. You guys can pick that one. For most of the things I added in each separate bottle. It looks like for absinthe maybe I didn't, or it just chose generic absinthe. You guys can pick which absinthe. And we'll roll from there. Bartenders love making that drink. Yes. Unfortunately, the bartender is actually me. So ChatGPT does not care that it's me. He would tell me that, this ChatGPT. Julia says Lucid. All right. You guys are going to have to hang out for, like, Marco says Voltage. We'll do both. We'll mix them and do it that way. You guys are going to have to hang out for, like, 3 minutes. It's going to take me a minute to grab all these bottles and bring them in here. I have all the tools that I need, but that's a lot of bottles. All right, hang tight, guys. Talk amongst yourselves. This is going to be a minute. See, this is the go St. George's. That's like the well absinthe, right? No, that's good stuff. I think St. George's is great. I don't know that there is a well absinthe. This was the difficulty of doing this. I thought about doing the whole show out at the bar, but then I can't sit down, and that's uncomfortable. All right, talk amongst yourselves. Give me like 2 minutes. I promise it won't take too long, but it's going to take a minute. All right, I think we got it. I think we got it. All right, this is a lot of ingredients, you guys. All right. This is going to take a minute to get all. Oh, no, I forgot hang on. I forgot a measuring cup of some kind. The camera does not like all these bottles. This is why I don't typically do a lot of cocktails on this show. Because not only is the desk not big enough for all these bottles, it's a pain. It is an absolute pain. All right, we're going to unplug that. The drunk line is officially not on. All right. Okay, we're going to start. We're going to go in order so we don't forget anything here. We got an absinthe rinse. Well, yeah, we'll absinthe rinse first. And since you guys are unable to agree, we're going to do both. We're going to do a little bit of Lucid. And a little bit of the Voltage. Voltage batch 1, mind you. Okay. The room already smells great. It no longer smells like corn. So if you've never made a cocktail that has an absinthe rinse, all it does is kind of add a little bit of aroma to the cocktail. And you're supposed to discard the absinthe after you kind of just coat the glass with it. I don't discard any booze. We're going to pour it in here and drink it later. Or drink it while we're making the cocktail if we get thirsty while we're making this cocktail, because there's a lot going on here. All right. First ingredient, an ounce of Vita Mezcal. That is our Mezcal. I think Vita makes several different kinds, like from different villages or something, but it's all kind of the same idea. Smoky agave. Josh says the camera is struggling to focus. Yes. Marco says that Wednesday is National Absinthe Day. I think you just made that up. Every time I lean out of the way, the camera gets confused. It's wanting to focus on the bottles. All right. We've got our Mezcal. We're going to start there. Next up, rum. This stuff is delicious if you've never had it. There's a distillery down in Kill Devil Hills, and they make this stuff, pecan rum. So good. North Carolina, for anybody that has never been to Kill Devil Hills. Let's see, an ounce of that. For our sweet, nutty complexity. If we've learned anything, though, it's that AI is incredibly difficult and way more complex than it needs to be. It could have just said rum and Coke. Zach says, love the hat. I have that same Rheingeist hat. Won it in a giveaway. Oh, yeah, shout out to Rheingeist. They sent me a box of stuff recently, and this was one of the things in it. Oh, love those guys over there. Let's see. Zierbens. Half an ounce of Zierbens. This is one of my favorite schnapps. I guess AI knows that this is one of my favorites. We need half an ounce of this. This is either going to be amazing or it's going to be a waste of every one of these bottles. Again, I have high hopes. Sounds delicious. It says it's beautifully complex and yet remarkably balanced. That sounds good. Let's see. Zierbens. Copper and King's American Brandy. That's right here. Also, delicious stuff if you've never had it. Marco says, I got a box of stuff from them also. Sweet. Okay, now the drunk line is calling, but as I told you guys, we do not have the drunk line right now because the phone is over there and the cord I tossed over there. Sorry, can't answer the drunk line. Leave a message. How much of this am I using? Half ounce. All right, we are a half ounce. What does this do again? This is for our depth and warmth. Who doesn't need depth and warmth in their cocktail? Okay. Now we're getting some of these bottles out of the way. Okay. Depth and warmth. Done. Next up. All right, we're down to our quarter ounce. That's a little harder on this measuring cup. That's okay. We can eyeball quarter ounce. Quarter ounce of Luxardo. Delicious stuff if you've never tried it. Not that I really drink it just by itself, although it's probably pretty good. It's real sweet. That's probably a tad more than a quarter ounce. That's okay. That is for our subtle sweetness and our cherry undertones. I love a good cherry undertone. Okay. Then our Bekarovka for herbal spice, another quarter ounce. We're getting there. We're almost done. Okay. Marco says depth and warmth. Okay. Yep. Yeah, perfect. That was my nickname in high school. Perfect. Zach says, what was the box from Rheingeist for? Just social media stuff? I don't know. They just sent it to me because, I don't know. You'd have to ask them. Bekarovka. There was no stipulations with the box of stuff that I got. And, okay. We got Bekarovka. We need 2 dashes of Angostura and 1 dash of Peychaud's. Let's not mix up that ratio. This is critical to the cocktail. 2 dashes of Angostura. 1, 2. Okay. And 1 dash of Peychaud's. Okay. 1 dash of Peychaud's. Oh, it smells so good. All right. Whew. All right. And now I think. Well, how's our? Let's go ahead and well. Probably should rinse now the absinthe. Yeah, we're good. I can smell it. That means that we'll drink our little nip of absinthe that's left over. Woo! Oh, it's so good. I love absinthe. Let's see. Zach says, can we all say we're excited for the breakfast cinnamon bun Sam Adams Bach beer coming out this Friday? Yes, they do that. They've done that the last few years, and it's delicious. Okay. Rinse of absinthe, combine. Yep. Stir gently. I'm going to shake it because I didn't bring a spoon, but I have a shaker. Probably should stir it since we don't have any citrus, but guess what? We can't do everything the AI tells us to, or else it will take over. All right. We've got that. We've got... This table is not meant for banging a shaker on. Okay, now anybody who has not made a cocktail with me, this is the very important part, the shake. You got to look your customer in the eyes. I'm going to pretend that you're my customer. This is very serious. Got to smile. Zach wants to know if there was a delay on the Cincy Brewcast episode today. No episode today. It's a busy week. Busy talking to AI. Come on. All right. That looks pretty good. Once the tin is nice and frosty, it means you're done. All right. And we are going to strain it into our glass here. We'll get that right in the middle of the drink cam, wherever the middle is. That looks about right. And keep in mind I did shake it instead of stirring it, so it's going to be a little ugly. AI got the volume perfect. Look at that. That doesn't look that bad. Yeah, it could use a nice garnish. I like the idea of an orange peel over top. It would probably be pretty. Flamed orange peel even better. But again, we got to keep AI on its toes, or else it will take over. It'll kill us all. Okay, first impressions. It looks fine. Looks great. Looks like a cocktail. Nice little frothy head. I don't know what that's from, but we'll take it. Let's see. Smells good. I'm getting a lot of the absinthe. That could be the empty glass right there, or the burp of absinthe that just came up. Let's see. I'm getting some kind of citrus, and I don't know what that would be from. The Appalachian Alchemist. I don't know where Appalachian comes from. Yeah, I don't know what the citrus that I'm smelling is coming from, but maybe it's got to be either absinthe or Maybe the Bekarovka. I don't know why ChatGPT, whenever it makes a cocktail, wants it to be something alchemy. I don't know what that is. Why that's a thing. Zach says, I've seen way too many AI horror movies recently to know that I don't trust that shit. It takes over your household. It's taken over my drink tonight. So, cheers. We'll see how it did. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Especially considering that there is no fresh juice or anything in that it's all booze. That's a heck of a good cocktail. Yeah, I can do that. Almost like too balanced. Nothing is really kind of popping for me. I definitely get that smoky kind of thing going from the mezcal. I'm not getting... What else is in here? I'm not getting the pecan rum. Zach Holly says, and food, even though I just ordered the pub fries, the fries are good. However, even better than the pub fries are the curry fries. And even better than the curry fries is the spice bag. You cannot go to Gilligan's without getting the spice bag. Always get the spice bag. It is delicious. That's my best advice for everybody. This is good. AI gets 5 points. 5 points. AI. It's light. It's kind of refreshing. There's like a weird fruitiness that's I guess the Luxardo maybe. Still smoky from the mezcal. It's crazy how I'm not getting the Bekarovka, considering how like dominant of a flavor that is, or the Zirbins, how big that is. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. That's surprising, especially considering the one that we made the other night was fine, but it was not good. It was kind of messy. Everything kind of mixed together. It just didn't balance itself out well. And this is just almost a perfectly balanced cocktail. Which, I mean, I guess why wouldn't a computer be able to perfectly balance a cocktail? I don't know. I'll take it. Steven says all the ingredients will always make the AI the bartender's best friend. Yeah, this is so. Let's go down that road. So AI as a drinking tool. Is this a good idea for a bar? No. Although I bet in my prompt, I kind of specifically told my AI to make a Josh says, tell the AI. Yeah, I should tell it good job, just so it doesn't get mad or just sit up all night wondering. Great job. Great job, buddy. I should say buddy. Yeah, buddy. You did great. You can leave work early tonight. Ooh, I'll give him a raise, too. And you get a raise. And healthcare. I'm going to give him healthcare. With healthcare benefits. Let's see what he says about that. Oh, this guy's great. He says, "You're the best, boss. I'm handsome, generous, and with impeccable taste." That is not a lie. That is what he told me. I am handsome, generous, with impeccable taste. He's glad that I enjoyed the cocktail. He'll toast to me tonight. Cheers, and see you tomorrow. Oh, man. Have a good night, AI. Have a good night. See what he says. Thanks, boss. Have a great night yourself. See you tomorrow. Cheers. See, he's really polite. Company car. Yeah, he does deserve a company car. And that's wonderful. They don't know how to batch correctly. You see, okay, going back to this idea of AI, this is not a proper replacement. This is not a proper replacement for a bartender. However, I did specifically tell my AI prompt that I wanted something that was a little bit kind of off the wall and used a bunch of ingredients and used some weird ingredients and some things that I had that people might not have heard of before. That's kind of how I designed the whole thing. You could maybe create AI that was, or a prompt that was telling it to only use, max of 4 ingredients or something. Maybe there is something here, and there is an idea that, like, as a novice bartender, if you could, walk downstairs to your bar and just take a picture of the bottles you have, you can do this. I'm not saying if you could. You can take a picture of the bottles you have and say, hey, here's what I've got. What can I make? What's something easy, something delicious that I can make? As somebody that doesn't really kind of know a lot about cocktails, there's some value to that. There's something really fun about that idea. It does not replace a great bar. It does not replace a great bartender. But it does, like, for just kind of a normal person, it does something. It does something really fun, and it makes pretty good cocktail if you're willing to. How many bottles is this? Let's see. Not counting the bitters, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different bottles sitting there. Whatever. Okay. Where else does AI kind of fit into the whole drinking picture? And I know that a few of you guys were with me when we were up in Columbus last year when Species X was still open. And for anybody that doesn't know, Species X was this brewery, and they had this really fun idea of taking... Josh says the real question is, how much would that cocktail cost at a bar? $324. I don't know. It would cost a lot. They took their menu was split almost 50-50 right down the middle. Half of the recipes on the menu were created by a head brewer, owner, just like normal, just like any kind of brewery that you've gotten used to. The other half of the menu was all created by AI.